We slip and slide and we fall in love, and I just can't seem to get enough of the. Well, good evening. It's Wednesday. It's Happy Hump Day. By the way, I fucking feel it for earlier. I know. By the way,
We got humped.
we got humped earlier. Aye. My name's JP. Joining me tonight is my fellow co-host, Mr. Andy Gray, aka Ryan. How are we, mate?
I'm not bad, mate. No, let's be fair. It was no a great watch today in the scoreline, JP, but obviously we've seen social media, mate. Celtic got beat, by the way. If you know by social media, we get beat. So, a lot of people panicking, a lot of people no panicking, a lot of different
Just going
opinions.
with early
Aye.
comments on this chat. And all, by the way, if you didn't want,
Aye.
I hope you've kept that bleach in a bag of Chris.
Mate, I've got the bleach in the back of Chris tucked away for a special time because supporting Celtic, mate, we don't know when we need the
Aye,
bleach. So
aye.
probably the first game of Europe, mate. I'll keep it for that. So, but no, like you says, mate, it was actually good to watch Celtic again and actually get to see the game. And obviously, I was after day Joe day, mate, so I was privileged to watch it. I say privileged, but I got to watch it. So,
Even if you won the year, I still got to see it
aye,
anyway.
on these, which we don't get involved in these days is dodgy boxes. Just to let you know,
Oh,
we're not
oh,
involved in. We're not
oh,
involved in dodgy boxes,
oh,
but
they're bad. They're bad.
aye,
No.
they're
That's actually quite good. That,
that's
isn't
quite good. That aye, that's quite a good. We dodgy boxes got it right. Aye,
Ah,
but
that's
that's all
actually
right.
quite good. That, aye.
But I overall, JP, it was good to see Celtic back. Obviously, we've been back for a few weeks, but good to get a bit no competitive, but it was a competitive fixture in terms of the opposition and the heat and the fitness wise and stuff. So, some positives, maybe more negatives outweighing the positives. But before everybody starts in the comments or people on social media for the next few days and about the game and stuff, again, even everybody who's watching and tuning in, thanks a lot. But there's a few comments I've seen on social media. Sometimes it's like we totally get there's things on the game JP that we need to iron out going forward, probably defensively, etc. But it's the first game of the pre-season that really when it's kicking off because the two games in Portugal were kind of just bounce games. These are proper pre-season games, and you've kind of obviously got to take the result of the performance to a degree, but it's all about getting guys' fitness and getting guys playing again, assessing the squad. But overall, JP, it wasn't great. Wasn't a great viewing in terms of the result, but it's pre-season, mate. But just good to get Celtic back, mate. Hope you're all right as well.
Yeah. Um, I'm trying to take in most people's points. I get everybody's frustrated. Just before MD, there was no before this podcast started. There was no drinking a bleach or there was no choking on a bag of Chris or anything. None of that was nothing was damaged before we started the other night, right?
But it might be soon.
I can't guarantee that's going to be the stage before we finish, but no, listen. I want to say first of all, good evening, everybody. There's far too many comments on here tonight just now for me to go through everybody individually. So I'm going to just say good evening to everyone that's joining us. Thank you very much for taking the time to join in with us tonight.
Yep.
And it's nice to see you back on with me, Ryan. I was flying the lonesome boatman, and I nearly started playing the wee flutes. The wee.
We don't get involved in flutes in this game, mate.
Oh, I know.
That's
But
that team of Kawasawara like that
penny
stuff.
whistle, penny whistle. That's it. There's a better phrase for it. Penny whistle. No, I even done a gesture there. I don't even know why my hand started doing that there. I really don't. I don't know why I done that there. For any, forgive me, please. I do understand that might be my last night on the podcast now,
Aye.
but no, like I says, it's really good to see Celtic back now.
Yep.
I really think that that gave us a right good idea of where we are fitness wise. I was really impressed today with the team's fitness. Taking away for that, looking on a football perspective, I thought a lot of the players played really well. Boys like Callum McGregor looked really tidy. Matt O'Reilly played a lot of good one-touch football today. Iwata looks as if he's going to be a great servant to the club, Ryan. I think he's going to be invaluable to the club. He can obviously play in a number of positions. Um, you're looking at Starfelt, I thought was fine. A couple of wee shaky moment he gave a goal away. Again, that's down to ring rusty individually. Hatati, different class. Maeda, different class. Abada, I thought different class.
Yep.
And I think the the Haksabanovic again showed a couple of nice wee touches, but again for me he's a guy I think needs to do a wee bit more. I think in terms of the defence, Ryan, I definitely think we need recruits. We need guys to come in. Personally, I don't think Stephen Welsh is going to be good enough to take us forward, especially Champions League football. Liam Scales, I'll be looking at a game of Crosses with a down at Crown Point on Friday. I don't think I know you're laughing, mate, but I don't see him cutting it. I really don't. Kobayashi's far too weak, in my
Yep.
opinion, to play at centre back. The boy jumped for a ball today and landed like he'd exploded the sole of his feet. And all he did was land. Um,
So that back in school, innit? The floor is lava.
Aye. I tell you what, by the way, if they get a game of high up and they train through to Osaka, he's going to be the champion because he looked as if he was up there for about a fortnight. But I don't think Kobayashi's going to be good enough, Ryan. My personal opinion. I've seen him a couple of times now. I just think he's too weak. I think he's too for a centre half. He's not tough enough, and I think he needs to maybe move on in terms of going out and loan or whatever. And I know they've signed the boy up in a 5-year deal, but I don't see him seeing out that 5 year, mate. I really don't. I think Brendan and the boys will have a monopoly board out and they'll be trying to get him.
Mhm.
I think they'll be trying to get him moved on sooner rather than
Mhm.
later. I do think we need strengthening though. I think Greg Taylor could be doing me a hand. I don't think Bernaby's defensively good enough. I think he's quite erratic in some of his challenges and the way he tries to like press people and he might be good with the ball going forward, but we also need somebody that can look after the ball when we're doing it our own sort of side of the pitch
Mhm.
and we're being pressed because we were up against a team that's halfway through their season today and they pressed us. Okay, we played some nice football and found our way out that press at times, but I just think a lot of our own downfall today was ourselves. It wasn't even because we were outplayed or that was the frustration part of it. It was the fact that the guys that are in my team are making silly mistakes. Um, and I think, I mean, the first goal, an experienced goalkeeper like Joe Hart shouldn't be shouldn't be the issue, mate. That shouldn't be happening, and that shouldn't be an issue there. That's your bread and butter all day for a goalie. And I don't know about you. I've watched it back about 5, 6 times, and I do not know what he's trying to do. He'd have been quicker having a cup of coffee and then just picking the ball up than what he was trying to do. Because it looked like it took him nearly half an hour to get the ball. He laid the boy on for the goal. He made a rest. He rolled it down the boy's leg, put it back out in front of him, and went, "Here you go, stick that away."
Mhm.
Um, I just think, personally, middle to front, we're totally fine. Where maybe guys like maybe James Forrest, who probably are going to see very little in terms of game time. But middle to front, I think we're fine, Ryan. Defensively, I think we need reinforced because if you look at, I don't think Tony Ralston's going to be good enough to take us into the Champions League. I don't think we've got an able right back now. Now that Alistair Johnson's not going to be fit, it looks like Ralston's going to miss the beginning of the season as well. And I really think we need to look at that. I think we also need another centre back because my personal opinion is I don't think Kobayashi's going to cut it, like I've said, and I also don't think Stephen Welsh is going to be able to cut it either in there. And like I says, Liam Scales, I don't even think you wouldn't even shouting him out for a game of Kirby. I wouldn't, you wouldn't even give him a shout, Ryan.
Mhm.
That's just my thoughts, mate. I think defensively we definitely, hence the reason why the headline. I definitely think we need recruits, and it needs to happen sooner rather than later. Because, like I says to you today, mate, every day that goes by is a day missed with the boys on the grass,
Yep.
try to bed in, try to get the tactics, try to get the way we play and the manager and the way everything works. So every day that a new recruit could potentially be coming in, and every day that goes by and they don't come in, then I think it's a day wasted.
Aye, like I said before we come on to you, JP, the day I don't want to be too critical, because it is obviously first pre-season game, but I'm probably going to be critical because some of the stuff is basic defending. It's no, that doesn't matter. But I've not played football in 5 years, JP, and I would have made some of the mistakes made today. And that's not me. I wasn't fantastic, but you did the basics right. And for a goalkeeper, Joe Hart, listen,
Mm-hmm.
just about nearly every goalie makes a mistake the odd time, right? No, every goalie goes through a season, even top goalies. Well, I still think he's a top goalie, but a top goalie like David De Gea and stuff like that, they sometimes make mistakes. But Joe Hart, that goal was, I don't know what he was doing. Like I've said to you, I've um, I've looked at it again and I still don't know what he was doing. One of the goals Starfelt was a fault as well. And again, you've got to take a wee step back and go, right, is it just ring rust? Is it just the fact that it's a heat? And again, I'm not want to sit here and do them in, right? But to concede 6 goals against anybody is not good enough. If it's a pre-season friendly, if it's in the back with your pals, if it's whatever, it's not good enough. I know you've scored 4 goals and gone forward, we're looking okay. Nothing you've gone forward that I can say it's bad because gone forward, we look dangerous every time with my
Mm-hmm.
Maeda and Kyle come on, and like you said, Hastabanich for me, he's got attributes. I just think he's got to put it all together. McGregor, he was okay, he was tidy, but listen, the pre-season, I'm not going to sit and say these guys are terrible or whatever, but defensively, I'm not worried, JP, but it's clear to see we need defensive recruits because, again, I know people might shoot me down. I know me and you had a conversation today. People shoot me down about Greg Taylor and Ralston, etc. But Greg Taylor's been superb for us. He's improved absolutely brilliantly. Yes, yesterday. Last year, he was close to for Player of the Year. I get that. But if we want to progress in European football, we need to buy better than Greg Taylor. We need to buy better than Tony Ralston. We need to buy better than Kobayashi. We need to buy better than Stephen Welsh. It's as simple as that. People can come at me and say, oh, they've improved and they've done better. I get that. I totally get it. But this isn't Ansball anymore. This is Brendan Rodgers' style of play. And if you look at today, people might think I've looked at the game wrong, but there was definitely more possession involved today than it was under Ange.
Yeah.
They were trying to play 1-2 touch for the back. They were trying to play side to side, similar to the way Rodgers did in the past, but it was a bit more kind of aggressive. It
They tried to
wasn't,
play a bit quicker as
aye,
well, really.
it wasn't get it to the back, get it wide and forward. It was a bit more possessive, it was a bit more, no passive, but it was a bit more delaying the play and then forward. And again, this is going to it'll take a few more weeks for the team to get used to Rodgers' style of play and the way he wants to play and stuff. But listen, make no bones about it, JP. We love these guys at Celtic. We don't want the guys that have played well in the past and the guys that have been loyalties and played well for us and won his trebles. But we keep going about the treble, right? We won a treble, brilliant, and I'll keep saying, but we've done that. But now we need to progress into if it's a Champions League, and we didn't qualify. Well, we qualified, but we didn't do well with Taylor and Ralston and guys like last season. So how are we then going to do it again? I know people might go, it might improve again, but are they going to improve at another 3 or 4 levels? Probably no.
Mm.
So, in my opinion, if there's somebody out there that's, well, in my opinion, Jive, this isn't. I don't want people thinking that I'm going against Ralston or Taylor or Kobayashi, whatever. I'm just wanting to improve, JP. I'm only a fan. I'm watching these guys. So,
Hold on, just before you go
what's
into
that?
your explanation any further. Just hold on a now before you get into your explanation any further.
What is it?
Bearing in mind this man brought us a lot of joy last season, so just don't be too hasty, okay? There you go.
No, listen, he's definitely JP. He's 100% able to play with Celtic.
He is, look at him.
He's done amazingly for Celtic, considering he was wrote off for myself and a lot of other fans. Quite rightly so, because his first season he wasn't great, and he's progressively got better. Same with Alston, he was probably at the door, but he's got better and he's improved. But as us as Celtic fans, just going to go, I've improved. That's it. That same Celtic players now. We'll just keep them now because they've improved
No,
every
but they've got to
season.
have earned the right to be there in the first place.
Definitely. But do I think that with Greg Taylor at left back, we're going to progress into the second or first in the Champions League? Or I don't think so. And that people might say that's maybe it's a bit hasty. No, well, every competition you're in, you need to try and strive to be the best. If that's won the group,
Absolutely.
if it's finished second, then if you finish third, right, okay, we finish third.
Yep.
But you want to strive to finish your top two. And people might go, we can't compete. Of course you compete, but you just need to do your recruitment properly. You just need to make sure you get into the group stages well equipped and well planned. Teams like, I know these teams like Club Brugge and your Salzburgs, etc., they've been in it for years, but they've got a model now, we're in it for years because they're doing well in it, they're getting the money, they're getting the recruitment right, and we need to get the recruitment right, JP. But again, people might think I'm being too critical here because he won pre-season game, but I'm talking about for the European side, and it's clear to see, JP, I'll let you back in, mate, because there's loads we can talk about defensive-wise. There's clear to see, JP, that guys like Stephen Welsh, Kobayashi, are not going to be up to it. Welsh has not been up to European level for us ever. He's been okay domestically, but at Celtic, are we just going to be settled be okay? I don't think so. Again, if Greg Taylor was to be left back, JP, I've no harm about it. But I want us to progress, and I want us to get. I'm not going to say go and get Kieran Tierney. I'm just saying you want somebody of a step above calibre wise. To then Greg Taylor goes, all right, that's what I'm up against now, and it might help him. It might make him a better player. But I think all in, mate. I think we might even need two centre backs because if Kobayashi and Welsh go, you're only left with two centre backs and Vickers and Starfelt. First team players, so I think defensively, I think you're spot on, mate. That we need to sign some players and talk about singing. Alex Beveridge, he loves a sing song, doesn't he?
He definitely does. Aye, aye. Talk about Alex Beveridge. For anybody who doesn't know, as of yet, Mr. Alex Beveridge and AB Entertainment have now become the proud sponsor of this podcast. So that's the details of it there. If you want to contact Alex, it is a DJ company, guys and girls, and they cater for every type of function that you can think of under the sun. Double denim, championship, referees, you name it, they do it. And garden parties. What was the other one now?
Somebody wants a bar mitzvah.
That's the one, aye. That's the one, aye. Yep. So, as I've said before, Ryan, I think we're really privileged to have Alec on board with us, mate. Obviously, he's a big Celtic fan as well, so that does help. But as you said, mate, he does like a wee sing song, and I'm pretty sure he has promised us that he'll do one live for us on here, hasn't he? Is that right?
We'll see him next week, mate. So he might get the punters a wee sing and dance next week. But no, like you said, mate, Alex is.
He doesn't wear double denim though, so I hope everybody's expectations aren't too high.
But like you says, mate, we're really privileged to have Alex on board. He's got a fantastic business there. Like you say, it ranges for garden parties to karaoke's, weddings, bingos, double denim bingo parties if you want.
Double denim bingo parties, aye. Double denim barbecues.
Aye. If it's kids parties, 80s, 70s, whatever, Alec will sort you out. Again, if you do want to mention you've watched the podcast, again, Alex will help you in that way as well, with a good deal. Again, JP, it's not just the fact that he's got a good business there and it's an entertainment company. He actually makes people's night.
Yeah.
you've obviously heard through people and you've seen the views, and
Yeah.
again, these reviews don't lie, mate. He's got a very good company there. He's got a good night. He always gets people involved, and I
Well,
think,
there's the weekend just there. He was Friday,
aye,
Saturday in the Homewood up in Johnston. And all you need to do is go and check out the reviews that he got over the weekend there, folks. If anybody has got a function that's coming up, or, anybody might be wanting to have a party, or, looking for some entertainment, guys. As I said, I've stuck the number back up for you as well. If any's want to get in touch with Alex, please do. I know he is quite busy, so it's one of the ones you need to get in there first to find out. Definitely, Angie. Double denim bingo parties. There's an idea for a fundraiser, Ryan. Absolutely, mate. I'm sure you've got a
is that is
nice wee.
I don't know, Ange IP, but is Ange reading the script that we've been writing for next week?
Is Ange what? Sorry.
Is Ange been reading the script that we've got for next week now?
I don't know. I've no idea. I've not got a clue. But great minds must think alike, as they say. Definitely.
And
But,
how did you know that I was shopping Primark last week for double denim mini skirts? I try to look for 31, but I forget I'm no shopping Zara. You know what I mean?
it's not that I walked into his house, man. It was like walking into Uncle Buck's cupboard, man. The only thing it didn't happen was a bowling ball.
Aye, I know.
But no, listen, guys. Anybody wants to get in contact with Big Bev, please don't hesitate, guys. That's the number again for you. Please give him a phone. As I say, he'll do anything he can to help you, and he's a really, really dead, down to earth kind of guy. He's also a big, massive Celtic fan. So, JP missed out the word another. Not weeks. Not next week's. There you go. So, Port Shop Express. Here's the answer to your question. If you're still with us.
I don't know if you fancy a satanic ritual at 10:30 tonight, Bev, and we're showing tonight. How do you fancy that, big man?
Let's get ready. By the way, it's not that I know. He does a good number. Let's get it on with Marvin Gaye.
Let's get it. Let's get it on. Let's get ready to rumble.
Who's that on deck?
that's a me and you the podcast game, innit?
PJ and Duncan.
Aye.
There's Port Shop. There you go, asking for a friend. Aye, that old chestnut, I know.
Aye. I've seen JP. Brilliant, man.
Aye, but no, as I say, it's the day was a bad unit. You concede 6 goals, mate. It doesn't matter whether it's a friendly or no. It's just trying to get my head back together there with all the comments and the hilarity.
You're just visualising me walking in with high heels, double denim.
No, that's not what I'm visualising. No, that's not what I'm visualising. I'm actually visualising you walking in with double denim on and then bursting out it.
By the way,
one of them ones. I was coming as Kylie, and then I got all ready and burst the arse in my wee hot pants.
I was coming as Kylie and came as Danny.
Aye, DeVito.
Aye, Danny Dyer. all right, geezers.
Aye. Need to TM the DD bingo nights.
Aye. I'll need to be the poster boy for it, Bev.
He'll need to shave his hair because he doesn't look like right said Fred yet.
Oh man. Brilliant.
You're too sexy for this denim. Anyway, I would play that song if I can get away with it. I'm not kidding.
No,
I had it handy. No, as I say, concede 6 goals. I know people are going, it is only a friendly. We conceded 6 goals against West Ham, and we had guys like Leo Hidjaldi and what was the Irish fullback we had? Young lad. He went down to, we got him for down south. I can't even, he never played for us at all, really. I think he got shipped out on loan. We got him for Man U, remember? And then he went
Irish
to Preston
fullback.
or something. Aye. If anybody can remember the boy we had a couple of years ago, it was under Ange, and he
Irish
never kicked a ball. I'm
fullback.
sure he signed around about the same time as the boy. The boy just played against Baza there in the final. What was his name? Midfielder.
Oh, look at Connell.
He signed around about the same time as him. We got him for Manchester United. He's a Republic Island player, and he was a right back, and he went down south. No, it's no Johnny Kenny's a
Striker,
striker,
John.
John.
Aye.
Uh,
Irish fullback. Are you sure he's Irish?
yeah, mate. Yeah, he's for the ROI. Yep.
Oh, Leo Connor.
Who?
Leo Connor. He went to Tranmere.
Yeah, that's it. The boy
Aye.
Connor. Yeah, that's right. Tranmere. I know he went
I'm
down
back.
south.
I'm
There you
back.
go.
I'm back with
Back
a
with a
bang,
bang. There you
man.
go. Get that double denim off. It's a fountain in your heat.
Get my double D's out.
Get your double D's out. But no, that's what I'm saying with
Aye.
the boy Connor. You had boys like that playing who weren't going to play in the first team. So maybe again similar. Leo Connor. That's it. Thank you, Norrie. Thank you.
Thank you, Rory.
Thank you, Norrie.
Was he the captain in the Man U reserve team as well?
I think he was, mate. I think because there was a big hoo-ha about him, didn't there, when we signed the boy.
He was maybe a decent player,
Yep.
aye.
Yeah, he just never got a chance with us at all, and he was shipped out on loan pretty quickly. And then obviously when Ange came in, I don't think Ange
Was it
obviously
Ange that
fancied
brought him,
him.
or was it Neil Lennon that brought him?
No, it was Lennon that brought him in. Lennon
I
brought him
thought
in. It was at the
that. I
same
thought
time. He
that.
actually
Aye.
signed. I'm sure he signed the same day as Frimpong.
It rings a bell, aye.
I'm
It
sure
rings
he
a bell.
came the same time as Frimpong.
It rings a bell, mate, aye.
But you look through the years. I mean, we've recruited boy like the Manny Perez as well. Remember the boy from America we brought over? The
Perez
other boy
and
Gutman, Andrew Gutman. You look through the years. We've always kind of done this. We've always brought these guys to the club, and they've never then went on and played with the team. And in that game specifically for the West Ham, we get 6-2 off us, but the a lot of the boys never played. Like Hajeldi then went to Leeds, which, by the way, he actually played in the Premier League last season.
Aye.
Not last season, the season before, sorry. Which was absolute madness. Because in that game against West Ham, he'd have been lucky to get a game of pool year after again.
I'm sure the boy Gutman was saying all right, and he's not going to get a move somewhere. I'm sure he's moved club. Because he was doing well with the club he was at.
Hajeldi, he might have.
No,
he might have.
no, the boy Gutman. He was at Jack and
He could
Martin
have
teams,
done,
you know.
yeah, aye, that's right.
He was doing well, and then I think he's got a move somewhere.
Well, Jerry's over there. Jerry does know quite a lot about the American sort of market.
That's right. I'm sure he was
Jerry,
doing
where
well.
is he now? Because the last we heard, he was at where Giacomakis' team are just now, Atalanta.
I know he got a move, but I don't know where he went to.
Yeah, okay.
Atlanta, that's it.
Is he moved to Atlanta then? Right, okay, that's fine. Cheers, Jerry. Thanks, mate. But yeah, so when you look at it like that, there's always been these type of players playing in these friendlies, which is, for me, Ryan, it's just quite frustrating, mate, because these guys aren't going to play. We're 2 weeks away from the start of the season, and these boys aren't going to figure in the plans, right? And if they are, then they're going to have to either A, have a rocket sent over to them to get them into gear, or B, they're going to have to be working day to day with a specialised coach to make these boys better all of a sudden. Because for me right now, these guys, Stephen Welsh, he's lingering about as well, mate. But again, the club's not back about two, three propositions for him to go to Italy.
Apparently, they're not back £4 million for Udinese last season.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that is absolutely madness.
That's crazy.
You wouldn't even get 4 million skittles.
No.
No, but honestly, like, that's just my opinion. Again, I'm not wanting to lambast the boy. I just don't think the boy's good enough for Celtic. I don't think he's good enough to take Celtic to the next level. That's all I can see. You've got to go with what we're watching now. We go to games, mate, so we get to see them in the flesh. Seeing the boy again on the telly today, his first touch was to go back to the goalie.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do it. You're a centre back, son. You're a modern day centre back. You need to play forward.
It's got
You
to
need
be
to look up.
positive. Mm-hmm.
Why can you no turn and look? You've got. It's one of the most privileged positions on the park, right? I used to love playing it whenever I get asked to, because you can see everything on the pitch.
Yep.
And you're able to direct people. If, like, just say for talking sake, McGregor doesn't see a runner. I know McGregor's a captain, right? But sometimes he might not notice a runner. You're privileged there, Ryan. You're right behind him. You can go, Callum, there's somebody running on your left, or there's somebody coming on your right, or so you and see if you're back there and you're not talking, mate. That's a bigger problem, because you then what you doing? What is it you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
So it's that for me, that's madness, total madness. And he might have done well with Aberdeen last season, Darvel aside, okay, because he was part of that team that got beat that night, Liam Scales. But he's not going to cut the mustard at Celtic, mate. I don't think he's going to longer term. Again, unless he becomes all of a sudden, I don't know, he goes out on loan again and then does what Big Ayer did and manages to get himself ready for the team.
But I think the
I want
difference
these. I want
is,
these boys to do well. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
People might be sitting here watching me and now going, that big guy's just, it's been a long time since I've been called a boy. That big guy's just slagging people off. That's not what's happening. You've got to be serious when you're looking at it, though, and you've also got to look at things objectively. Because if you don't, how else are they? Like, just say for talking sake, the management team when they're doing it right, how else then would the squad progress if Rodgers wasn't able to look at things objectively? You can't have favourites, mate. You've got to progress forward, and we're supposed to play in the Champions League this coming season, and we've got guys. If Starfelt and Carter Vickers are injured, for me and everybody probably on here and watching us, is their main go-to centre back pairing right now. The next challenger, you've got Stephen Welsh
and Kobayashi.
I don't mean to be rotten with Kobayashi. He's just too lightweight to be a centre back. He's no strong enough. Either that, or he's just not experienced enough in terms of playing in first team. Because it's shown. It's shown. He'll get bullied in Scotland. There'll be guys that'll come up against big, strong strikers. Boys like Louis Moult, who'll just shove him off the ball if he gets him the cut.
Well, that was last. I think
the big boy Curtis Main.
He's reunited in the championship.
That's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, boys are at Van Veen. If there's a striker like Van Veen there, John Obika, these big lads will just throw him. They'll just throw him a bit. Like a scud book in Berlin. So you really need to, you really need to think about what the next go-to guys are. So it's not a case of you're slagging the guys. The guys just won't be able to cut the mustard in the Champions League line. They'll get found out, mate. You're coming up against guys like Mbappe, guys like Haaland.
Yep.
Mate, these boys will take you to cleaners. You think Curtis Main and that'll give you a doing? What do you think these guys will do to you?
No, I know. And that's true what Jerry says. I seen that today. Curtis Main's about India.
Has he signed for
he's about India.
Coyle's team?
I don't know, but I know he's about India. I know that.
So's that other boy, that Connor Shields.
Aye, it might be
He's
him, mate.
He's signed for on Coyle's team today.
No, I agree with JP. It's all right saying, I'll keep hammering the close, won the treble, we've done this, we've done that. But you still, for European-wise, Kobayashi and Stephen Welsh, we can't depend on they two to be your two second-in-commands when Vickers and Starfelt are injured. And I kind of feel for Starfelt as well, because Starfelt looks like the lesser defender, because when he's playing with Kobayashi or Welsh, I think the pressure's on him to be the main man, and when the pressure's on him to cover for maybe help them out, it's taking him off his game. But when he's with Vickers, he can concentrate on his game and his defending, because he knows that the guy beside him, and if it's Johnson and Taylor as it stands now, if it's the full back line, then he knows he's going to be okay and he's got that cover. The only small thing you can say as well today is it wasn't your natural back four, so that's understandable that things are going to be off in sync. Iwata's not a right back. I know he played there, but he's not a right back. Kobayashi doesn't look the naturalist of best centre backs. And Stephen Welsh, when he comes on off the bench, he's a steady Eddie. He could come in and play against Ross Counties and St Mirren's, but is that what we want at Celtic? No. I know you need squad players. Squad players need to be, but you need to try your best to make sure the squad players are able to come in and play every time you need them, not just the odd game. I totally get what you're saying, mate, and I'm agreeing with you. I know some people might think that me and you disagree with each other, but we agree because I think we try and sing off the same hymn sheet. We watch the same games, we watch the same players, mate, and it's, sometimes you'll disagree with things we have in the past on this year, mate, but 9 times out of 10, we are virtually quite agreeing on what needs done. And
well, we can see things as a similar way.
Aye, and what needs replaced. And again, I've said on this point at times, JP, I think Joe Hart was an incredible signing for the money we got him for. He's still an incredible part of the squad. He's still a leader. He's still very good in the changing room. He's still a very good goalkeeper. But I think in terms of European football, I think we need to go and shell out a bit of good money. I'm not saying 50 million. I'm not saying go and spend.
No, I know what you mean.
I'm not saying, but we need to go out and get a solid number one. And yes, it might cost money. But I think we've always had good goalkeepers. We've had Craig Gordon, we've had Boric, we've had Foster. David Marshall was okay. Hart last year and the year before. Very, very good. But I think now we just a wee change. And we can't keep relying on, as much as he's probably, I know by watching a lot of podcasts and what he says, he's a very, very professional goalkeeper. He lives his life very well. To get to the age he's at to play at Celtic, you need to live your life immaculately to get to the level you're at. So Joe Hart, for me, he's still able to be number one in terms of Special Scotland. But I think for me, JP, if we want to progress in Europe and just in overall as a team, I think we need a number one. And I would like to see maybe Joe Hart still be a part of the club and be the number two and still be there to challenge the number one to be the number one. But because for me, Segas isn't going to do. I seen it today. It just doesn't look comfortable. It just doesn't look like a guy that's going to be number one. Scott Bain, again, apparently he's doing stuff behind the scenes, helping with the coaching to maybe be a coach in the future. But I'm sorry, he's paid to be a goalkeeper and he's paid to try and challenge to be number one. He's not going to be number one at Celtic. He was only number two last year because Segas was injured or something happened behind the scenes. We don't know. I don't know why Segas was the number two. But Scott Bain is not a Celtic goalie. He's done better in my career, JP, but I'm just wanting my club to improve. And Scott Bain is not going to improve Celtic in number one or number two. And I know you need 3 goalkeepers, but I'd rather just sign somebody else, get Joe Hart as number 2, and play one of the youth guys as number 3 and give him experience to see how we go for there. Because there's no point in paying somebody away, JP, when they're not contributing. It's pointless. Like even that, I think McCarthy's a very good player. He's just unfortunate with injuries, and he's unfortunate the Celtics moved on, and his style of play won't suit it anymore. Sorrow as well. He's probably a lovely guy.
They're not even there. No, I mean, these guys are there.
For me, I've always had a soft spot for Ayeti, but unfortunately, going to cut the mustard. These guys just need to, unfortunately, be let go so we can get guys back in. Goalkeeping wise, again, I know there's rumours about the Croatian guy, but he will have guys there from JP. I know he's a very good goalkeeper. But someday that ilk we need to go and get. If it's 7 million, 10 million, whatever it is we need to do to get our number one in. For me, Jerry, Danny Ward, I want to touch on with a barge pole. That's my opinion, mate. I don't think he's a top goalie.
He's not any better than what we've got in there.
No. If Brendan Rodgers goes from Danny, when goes for Danny, we'll need to trust him. He's managed him. But for me, I don't think Danny Ward's a number 1 goalkeeper for Celtic. Number 2, possibly, yes. But I think we can buy better than Danny Ward.
To me, that signing screams at Doris de Vries.
I think Danny Ward is a good goalkeeper, but he's not a top goalie. And I think we need to sign top because... Again, Danny Ward's played the Wales. I think he's played in Euros and World Cups. He's played at the top level Leicester. I'm no down on the guy. I'm just meaning for my club, I don't see him as a number one goalie, as a top goalie. So I would want somebody better.
Yeah,
I
Scotty
don't.
did, mate.
That somebody that out though. That's I think we need Scott. Somebody that out.
Livakovic.
Yes. Again, I'm not going to sit and say who because I couldn't tell you exactly right now who's out there to buy and stuff like that because I don't goalkeepers isn't really the position that I really know a lot about in terms of players to go and buy. I'm probably more the outfield. But I'll let you back in, JP. But I do believe that obviously there's improvements in other positions, i.e. striking, etc. We don't know how good the Korean guys are. We don't know how good Tilo is in home. But I think as much as signing guys like that, the wee bargain signings and that is good.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is time that we maybe go out and I'm not going to say and spend
There'll be
£20
work
million.
happening, Ryan. There's got
But
to be work happening
I
behind the
think
scenes for it, mate.
I did say to you that I did feel for the next 10 days things will heat up, and I still believe within the next week there'll be a bit more action. But I think defensively, JP is the priority, mate, to get done because I think going forward we've got a bit of cover now. But I think defensively, I'm not saying worry, but I think if we've not got anybody in 2 weeks' time to cover Starfelt and Vickers, then I would say right we need to get a move on here.
We just, you're spot on in some of your things. Corville's asking, what about Carol Darlow from us? I think Rodgers will get the best out of him. To be fair with you, Corville, I
He's
think
okay, you know.
no. To be fair with you, I think a better choice for us right now would be Dubravka, because I don't
I would
think
take.
Dubravka is going to play too much for you.
I'd take in a minute.
Obviously Nick Pope didn't play up here last night. I don't know if he's injured or what, but he obviously never played in the game last night. But or did he? I never even paid attention to whether he did or didn't. But I don't think he did. But I would take Dubravka. He's good with the ball at his feet. He's a brilliant shot stopper. I know that sounds mental when you say that about a goalkeeper, but you've got goalkeepers that are good at. They've got certain good attributes. Corvo, I actually remembered hearing about this the other day. That's why he wasn't there last night, then, man, because we were chatting about that today. And no, he wasn't there. Thinking about it now. But I really think I would go for Dubravka, Ryan. Many times have I said to go over this window alone, he's a goalkeeper I would go and try and get. Now, whether that be a loan deal or we go and try and ask Newcastle the question, are you going to play him? Do you see him in your long-term plans? If no, can we have him? Because we think he's a good goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And obviously, I think Martin himself would be honoured to come up, and if he knew he was going to get game time, he would be coming to a club that are playing in Champions League. Obviously, he's not going to have the riches of the Premier League, but again, he's getting that first team experience again, getting to play week in, week out, getting that match sharpness again. And I think, me personally, I think he is. I think he's a very good goalkeeper now. He's a sort of goalkeeper, or the bracket of goalkeeper I would certainly be looking to bring in. I think he'd be well suited for us. I think he's got all the attributes that Rodgers looks for. He comes out, he's brave. He comes out for crosses. And I think he would.
I know Corvo saying he'd be quality. Again, I don't know if
Brilliant goalkeeper now.
Corvo, you're a Newcastle fan, mate, so you can help me enjoy here. But I don't know if he's looking to get him on loan away somewhere or game time, or he's looking to sell him. But
he's not going to play under Eddie Howe. He'll not play regularly.
Definitely agree that he's a good goalkeeper. He's good with the ball at his feet. I know what you're saying, JP. People might think, oh, he's a shot stopper, but some goalies aren't the best at shot stopping, but are good at other things. So I like him, mate. The fact
he takes the pressure off your team as well to play that. I can't fathom out why Eddie Howe will not give him a fair crack at the whip to give him that chance to play. He loaned him out to Man United, and he played, I think it was 2-3 games he got for Man U.
That's right.
At the same time, Butland was there as well. And he played a few games for Man U, mate, and instantaneously their fans were like, oh, wow, this guy's... They rated him better than De Gea. So it's kind of... It's a no-brainer for me, mate. It's a total no-brainer. I put up a headline a moment ago there, Ryan, in terms of, because there's been a few comments tonight based on the fact that people are saying we need another striker, we need another striker. I'm going to give my thoughts on this right now. Striker's not a position; it's not a priority position right now. We're going to be looking at. I'll tell you why. Brendan Rodgers had obviously assessed Celtic before taking the job again, and he showed you today why we don't need another striker, because you've now got the option of playing Maeda through the middle, where he is actually a natural centre forward for Japan. So a lot of people probably didn't see it coming, but he scored a hat trick against his old team today. And people are going to say, do you know what? They were easy goals to score. No, I'm sorry, but you've got to have the running power and the positioning and everything there to get on the end of him. To be able to go and finish your goals. Especially his hat trick finish. That wasn't an easy finish. He put that away into the side of the net, away for the goalie. He also was unlucky with a lob. He looks like a guy that knows it's full of confidence. Now, I don't know again if he was trying a bit harder because again it was his old team, or I got that for a lot as well. I thought the energy levels for the two of them were unbelievable. Again, I don't know if it was because they had the wee bit between their teeth. They wanted to show their old team, look, I'm actually doing well. I'm doing it here. I'm doing it at a big club. But I thought Maeda was different great. I thought his touch today was unbelievable. There was one day he stopped it, but he done a Dennis Bergkamp. He kind of backheeled it, run the guy, and then went run the guy the other way to get it. Again, I think Rodgers, and I've went for watching Rodgers, his interviews talking about the team. I think Rodgers sees him as through the middle. I really do. His press, the way he closes people, the way he takes people on.
I would take that. I would take him, Clovo. Aye, I would take Lacassette in a minute. Aye, in a minute. I think he's very good. Very good.
He's certainly better than Stephen Welsh and Liam Scales and Kobayashi, that's for sure.
I would take him. That's a good shout.
Like I says, with the defence, mate, I think mid to front, I did say at the beginning here, mid to front we're okay. I think we're fine. I think we've got enough quality. We've added now to, again, the midfield. We're obviously the boy Tillio, the boy Holmes there. And it looks like we're bringing in the two Korean lads as well, the boy Yang and the boy Kwon. So I think we're going to be fine mid to front. Again, I think he'll bring in a wide forward, another kind of Jota-esque type player. I don't think you'll see another out and out number 9, because he's got that in both Kyogo and O. And I've just explained Maeda can play through there as well, and he showed that today. So I've got no qualms with this. Maeda's a winger only, and that's it. And Maeda's obviously got more tools to his bag than what we probably seen, Ryan. I know Celtic fans, mate, that have texted me tonight that were really shocked that Maeda was able to play through the middle and do it the way he was able to do it. I wasn't, because I said to you today,
I wasn't shocked.
He would line up. I wasn't shocked because he plays there for Japan, and he used to play there for Yokohama. So I wasn't shocked, but his pressing, mate, is probably the best we've got in the team. Like he's the way he presses, mate. If you play him and Kyogo, sometimes Rodgers likes to revert back to the two up front, and if they two play together, the team, whoever you're playing against, it doesn't matter if it's a European team or it's a domestic team, they're not going to be playing out for the back. They're just not going to be able to do it. They're going to have to go long. Corvo, to be fair with you, mate, we actually tried to get Shah the last time Rodgers was here. He was one of the guys that he tried to sign up here, along with Castagna and the boy
James Justin.
Yeah, he took the two latter boys to Leicester with him, but we tried to bring Fabian Schär here, and we were about that away for signing him. I don't know what scuppered the deal. I can't remember, but we nearly got him. And I like him as well, mate. I think he's a very good defender. Again, these are all guys that are probably step ups for what we've got and what we would see as our squad. That's the issue. Our guys only been the main first team guys for me only being challenged. Alistair Johnson should have somebody like Juranovic fighting with him. Greg Taylor should have somebody like Tierney fighting with him. The two of them should be fighting that out as well. We should have like Carter Vickers and Starfelt should have guys like Aya or Denier fighting with them to come in. Guys of that kind of ilk. No, Jerry, that was a different one, mate, because that was run about when Svitchenko left. They brought in Kompa to replace him. So it wasn't at that time. Shar was a January window, if you remember right, mate. The year sort of before, if you remember. The Marvin Kompa one was to replace Eric Svitchenko, and he ended up signing Jack Hendry as well. And at the time, I think you needed Stephen Hendry because we needed snookers. But we, where was I? Yeah, so that's why, in terms of strikers, that's why we won't sign. We will not go and sign an out-and-out striker right now, guys and girls, because Maeda can play there, and he proved that again today. He's the other option there to O and Kyogo. What Rodgers will do, as I think I mentioned it on here on Monday, if it wasn't Monday, it was Friday past, is he'll play around it. So you'll find a formation where it interchanges and rotates. If he's not going to play with an out-and-out number 9, because Abada can also play through there as well. He's adaptable that way. And by the way, he was another one I thought was very good today, Ryan. His running power's unbelievable. He looks as if his speed's went on a wee bit as well, in terms of his fitness levels went up a level as well.
His decision making was better today as well.
Yeah.
I agree with you as well. But me and you talk every day, mate, about length, about the tactics and stuff.
Yeah.
Maeda, for me, my opinion is Maeda, for me, I don't see him as a natural striker, but I know he is through Japan, and people might say they're surprised about him today. If you actually go and do research about him and how he played at Yokohama and how he plays for Japan and how he's even done at us, it's not a surprise that he's scored goals, because he might not be technically very good. No, I see no. I mean, the other guys in the squad, like your Kyogos and Minjota was here and stuff like that. See if you've got running power and you've got the energy and you've got the. See if you've got an ounce of ability, that will take into positions where you'll get your tap-ins, you'll get your finishes, and for me, Maeda, he might not be your Kyogos, he might not have the star quality of your Jotas, but he's got other attributes that are pivotal to Celtic, and they're pivotal in the way we want to play, because if we're going to play the way we want to play, which I do think, again, I did mention at the start of the podcast, I do think it will be a bit more possession-based, but aggressive possession-based, and he's obviously going to have to be one of the pressers for that. So I think he's pivotal to what we're trying to do as a club, same with Kyogo. If I was to be greedy, I do want a striker to help O and Kyogo, because obviously I don't see Maeda as a striker. I see him as playing anywhere along the free. So ideally, I want us to go out and buy. Again, I would like. I'm just going to put my neck on it. I want us to go and spend £9 to £10 million in a proven clinical goal scorer, because that's what we're badly missing last year. I know we won't do it. We won't do it, but I'm just meaning me as a fan. What I want us to do, I want us to go out and spend money. I got an Edward type sign. Go and do it, because I think it will help you in the long term, i.e. selling value. If he does well, you'll sell him on for double your money, maybe treble your money, depending how good he is, and you're guaranteed probably a better performance for the team in Europe. But Kyogo, an extra year experience, different manager, different way of playing, he'll know a bit more, know how a European football. I'd imagine, I'd be surprised if he doesn't score at least one goal than he did the last. I think I'll be counting him to get a few goals this time. So I'm agreeing with you, mate. It's not a priority. Would I want one? Yes, and I would like, not in a target man, but I would like somebody with a bit of height, maybe to play after Kyogo, because I do feel, like I said to you, I can see us playing maybe two up front some games if that means Maeda or Rowe up with Kyogo. I think we could even go to feed it back with Rodgers because I think his style of play suits it. He's done it in the past. I think we can do it again. But to that question, mate, I don't think a striker is a major thing we need to do. But I seen a comment as well. I think for Patrick saying he doesn't think Ashley Barnes will cut it. Again, Patrick, mate, this is why we do this as well. It's all about opinions, and some people have said the same, mate. But I think he's got all the attributes to cut it. But I just feel JP that it's going to take maybe Rodgers and a bit more game time, a bit more experience for maybe for him to do it. But if he doesn't, like you said today, he could potentially be a squad player.
Yeah. He's going to find himself very quickly a squad player if he doesn't cut out that lazy spot that he's got in him, because when we're in transition, he'll run so far and then he just keys in, and that's not going to fly in this modern sort of way of doing things. It really isn't. It's not going to fly because I think he's lazy in terms of his work rate, and he doesn't work back enough, and we need to really either get him going, or he's going to find himself a kind of squad player very quickly. But in terms of strikers, we won't be spending big money. We won't be going out and spending big money on a striker. I know you're saying you'd like it, Ryan, but it's not happening, mate. We don't need to because we've got three guys there that
I
can
can't
score
see it,
goals.
but it's just something I would like us to do just to help us in Europe because I think we lacked that big time last year. And we don't know what O's going to be like in Europe. We don't know what. So, again, it's just maybe just me, just what I would like. Can I see he's doing it? Probably no, mate, but I would like it today because we've always had good strikers, we've always had good guys in Europe. So it would be a bonus for me, mate, but I'm not going to say it's a priority because I think we've spoken about it length tonight, mate. We'll probably speak about it again in the next few days and the next few weeks that the defence and the centre backs is a priority.
Patrick also mentioned the fact that we need an out and out left winger like Jota. Jota wasn't an out and out left winger, Patrick. Jota was a left winger playing with a right foot. He was an inverted winger. He could play either right or left. He could also play as a 10. So he wasn't an out and out left winger. You would call an out and out left winger somebody like Ryan Giggs, who, you know, would take the ball on his left foot and go right down that touchline and zigzag and take people on. An out and out left winger is somebody that, like Steve Guppy, who can only do the one thing, which is just stone on his right leg.
Just close the ball.
Just cross the ball. By the way, it's some delivery.
No, it was all right, mate. It was all right. It was all right.
Definitely, Patrick. I get what your point is, mate. I get the fact that you need that because there's a big hole there. You've also lost goals. And by the way, see before he signed, Jota wasn't a goal scorer. He wasn't Celtic helped him do that. They developed that side of his game and gave him the tool set to go and work at that. And then obviously Jota, being Jota, he went and worked hard and but he wasn't an out and out like goal scorer. He developed that side as well. That's what happens when you work. See, when you work with good coaches, guys like John Kennedy, Gavin Stratton, boys like Harry Kewell, behind the scenes, what that we don't see. These guys are instrumental to the club because of the work that they do individually with these dudes. They take these guys aside and they work on their game. Now Harry Kewell's probably worked. He's probably worked night and day with Maeda.
Well, we
and
said, I'm
the
sure,
difference. Maeda said he's the best individual coach he's ever had.
He said he was amazing.
So you look at that and then you sort of take a back seat and you go, right, hold on a minute, maybe these guys are, these guys are instrumental to the club behind the scenes. But in terms of Haksabanovic, Patrick, I agree with you, mate. I think he needs to do more. Otherwise, he's going to see himself very quickly becoming a squad player. And then normally that tends to find that you get put out on loan or you get sold on, and then you become what's called in football a journeyman very quickly. And it would be a shame to see a guy who has got ability, he's got a talent, be having to go down that road and end up like a Gary Mackay-Steven, a wee bit lost in terms of what clubs you end up with, and big things were expected of you, and then all of a sudden it never materialises to anything, and you end up falling away by the wayside, and then the club progress. Because the boy Yang, he's coming in, he'll push them, he'll give every one of them a push. So he's not coming in to just sit and eat oranges and watch a game for a storm.
I think for me, Jay, I think Justin's spot on, mate, what he says there. We need an experienced centre back goalkeeper. I think spot on, mate. Where I would spend big is a real replace for Jota. Again, I think you're spot on. I think we need to replace him. Champions League quality left back. We've kind of spoke about that, mate. And a baller number 8 with power. I can get
The only
that,
thing
JP.
the only thing I'm going to say there in terms of a Champions League left back is you're not going to get a Champions League left back coming to play against Ross County and Livingston, and unfortunately, guys, that's the reality of the market we're in. Unfortunately, in an ideal world, we would all have an experienced centre back, an experienced goalkeeper. These guys don't want to come and play against Livingston every second Saturday when they've got an option to go and play.
Abroad somewhere.
Not just that, but they've got an option then to go and play with a team like maybe Brighton, Crystal Palace. Earn themselves a few quid into the bargain, but playing against guys like Haaland and Rodri and Salah and quality almost every week. So unfortunately, guys, that's where we are at the moment. We just don't have the showcase in Scottish football to be able to offer experience. These guys are well underway. They've played a lot of games in the Champions League. I get what folk are saying. I really, really do. It doesn't stop us from going and signing, a big athletic fullback, somebody with a bit of height, athleticism, somebody in the ilk of that Mitchell Bakker that plays for Bayer Leverkusen. I think somebody like that wouldn't be totally out without our grasp. But again, guys, it's all down to whether they want to come and play in this league. Celtic are massive. They're a massive club playing in Scotland. That's the reality of it. And these guys don't see Pittodrie, Tannadice, Fir Park. They don't see that as a massive challenge to them. They don't see that as they're going to develop as a player.
That's not there. The lure to come to Celtics, the manager, the fans, the history, the club, Champions League. Celtic's a club.
But after that, Champions League's finished, what we got to look forward to?
And they know, obviously, the facilities are amazing, etc., and the players, but what they know as well, if they perform at Celtic, they know. People might say, "Oh, Ryan, we are a selling club." People need to realise Celtic, as a business, we need to be a selling club, because if we don't qualify for Europe, say we don't win the League One season, or we don't do well, say we finish bottom in the group stages, we don't get Europe again, we eventually might need to sell a big player. So we need to get guys to come in who are going to maybe come and double their money, play well, and sell them on. It's just a fact. I know people go, we shouldn't be a selling club, but because we're in Scotland and we're not going to get £50 million for finishing bottom of the SPL, we're not going to get parachute payments, we're not going to finish first and get £25 million. So we need to do recruitment wisely. We would all love, I want us to go and spend £10 million a striker, £10 million a goalkeeper, but then you need to give them £10 million wages, and etc., etc. So there's ways we need to go about it. And listen, me and you are spot at left, JP, and I think some fans as well realise it. There is things behind the scenes going about. There is a lot of things going on behind the scenes.
No, Justin, I totally get you. These guys are out there, but Alistair Johnson doesn't come with a pedigree playing in Europe for us. He came for
if Alistair Johnson was playing Europe,
he played at a World Cup.
Aye.
right? So
But
he's got that experience, but he doesn't come with a wealth of experience in terms of playing in Europe.
But it sounds that Alistair Johnson was already in Celtic's mind before the World Cup, so that's why they think they got him for £3 million.
No, he probably was, but what Justin's trying to say there is, there is guys that are out there.
Oh, aye.
Now, that's fine. But Alistair Johnson's also developed as a player from just signing with Celtic. He had to win a cup to sign for Celtic. He's now won 3 trophies. That does a lot to you in its own, Ryan. When you win, when you win something, mate, you something is born inside you, mate. You then become a winner. That changes your mindset and everything, the way you look at football.
Red, I'm not meaning right now. I mean just in general. Celtic will just about always see, unless we get somebody from Dubai or the Arabs or Saudi Arabia, etc. We'll always be a selling club because everyone's a Scottish team. We always need to get money for somehow, if that's selling players or whatever. If we get a good bid for somebody, we will need to think about it because we do need money for an income. It's all right selling season books. It's all right qualifying for the Champions League. It's all right winning trophies and trebles. But winning trebles doesn't get you miles of money. It gets you status. It gets you celebrations. It gets you world records. It gets you players maybe to come. But it doesn't get you mega finances. What gets you mega finances is improving in Europe, buying better players, selling better players on, and you need to sell your players at their peak level. Now, I'm getting a bit more, I might not look wiser, but I feel in football terms, JP, I'm a bit more wiser now that if we're getting bids of £25 million, we need to really consider it because when we're going to get that again, we don't know. There was talk about bids at Edward of 30, 40 million, but it didn't happen. I know we still got 19 million, 17 million, but we could have got more from them. So I think we kind of need to sell when the iron's hot. And talk about iron's hot, JP, the tickets for the fundraiser are getting iron hot. They're limited. Can't wait till next Friday. For a lot of you don't, a lot of people who haven't watched the podcast before, myself and JP and the podcast, Unrestricted View, we're doing a live event fundraiser next Friday at the
Friday the 28th.
London Road fundraiser night, 20th of July. It'll be 7:30 to 12, as it says
just on
there.
The London Road itself, Ryan, or is
on
it
the
in
London
somewhere?
Road. In the London Road, it's the old turnstiles. It's the bar at 1888. Most people who go to Celtic parties will know where that is. A live podcast, entertainment, DJ by our sponsor, Alex Bevis himself. So if you want to see Alex run double down next Friday, get along.
By the way, he's just flung you right under a bus, Bev, because you're now under pressure.
If you want to pay £2 just to see Alex run double down, then fire away, please do. But no, again, it's only £2, and it is a live podcast with myself and JP. Who knows what I'll be wearing that night, but it'll be a live podcast for sure.
I know what I'll be wearing, but I'll not be double denim, that's for sure.
It'll be the tightest Calvin Kleins you get, big man, innit? Entertainment by Alex, a DJ by Alex, and also a singer as well. You'll get raffles and a cold buffet as well. So again, we want to see the guys who are commenting. We only see pictures and comments. We don't actually see you for who you are. It would be good to meet people. It will be a fantastic night. It's your first live event. It will be the first of many, so it would be great to get you along. If you want a fantastic Celtic night, again, the mental health thing's a big thing. If you want to come along, spend the night with Celtic fans, get a good laugh and a joke, see a live podcast and get some food as well.
Listen to some Celtic songs as
well. So again, it's a big Celtic night. It'll be full of Celtic fans. Again, it's a week before the season as well, so it'll be good to get fans' opinion as well on the season, what's happening with the season, but overall as well, it's just for the
also, Ryan, I want to add that
well.
we will not be doing a live podcast on Friday the 28th. We'll not be on YouTube and we'll not be recording this live event. That's why we're asking some of you, if you want to come, get along to the event, but get your tickets ASAP because they are now very limited.
And it's over 18s as well. No kids allowed as well. That's just through the rules of the bar as well.
And it's ticket only.
Yeah, so ticket only.
There is no option to pay in at the door, folks.
So there'll be ticket only, no kids over 18s as well. That's just obviously the rules for the bar and alcohol and stuff and health and safety. But again, really looking forward to it, JP. Like JP says, and I've said there, the tickets are limited. It would be great to get people who watch your podcast. There is a few that are coming and we're absolutely grateful for the support and we're looking forward to see you there. Hopefully... Hopefully, we don't disappoint, but like JP says, we've said it all along, what we are on this is what we are. I'm not the brightest of sparks on here. I'm not the brightest in person. My gear's shocking, my double denim's shocking. You'll see that on Friday. But overall, JP, looking forward to the event, mate. Like you said, their tickets are going fast, so it would be amazing to see a lot of fans there.
Yes, it would be, because like you said before, Ryan, we only get to see a name or sometimes just a small photograph or I mean, the Pork Chop Express, that isn't somebody's name. Whether that's a male or female, but that's not a person's name. I would have loved to have known how that went in a class register, getting shouted out already in the morning. Pork Chop Express.
That's one of the names where it's a
No,
it's a sub teacher.
Aye, aye.
Mr. Jamie Wheelbarrow.
Aye, you're out begging your gigging teacher for a free period that day.
Aye. Is Ryan Longmore in? Yes, sir, he's there. Know what I mean?
Aye.
Mind that or whatever it is, man. I can mind we get a sub teacher in Spanish, man, and everybody just wrote. And he was calling him out. Yes, yeah.
Sí, senor.
Oh, mate. I've that. Pop before. You know what I mean? Brilliant, man.
But no, that brings us to the end of our wee chat tonight, mate.
We'll need to get that button. We'll need to get that button.
We'll need to get it, definitely. And for anybody slagging me also, there you go. There's a wee photo to cheer us up. Definitely. Just before we go, I love it because you all hate it.
And also, before we go, if you like the content, please subscribe to the podcast. Please like this episode, share this episode, tell your friends and family. It helps us get the content. We love doing it. It is free of charge. We don't pay a penny. We don't get used to pay a penny for it. It's all free content. Me, myself, and JP and the team, Alex as well. We love doing it. We love putting the content out. The guests will continue. Obviously, the live event coming up. We've had to kind of focus on that. But the guests will keep coming, and the more people subscribe, share, everything to do with the socials, like the socials, comment the socials, the more guests we can get for the fans, because as a fans podcast, we do everything for the fans. We're no experts, but we like getting the expert guests on to give you a bit more behind the scenes, because me and JP have learned a lot listening to these guys talking about behind the scenes, and it helps us do the podcast because it means we can take a step back and think about different things, if it's family life, mental health, other things in terms of football, mate. So, like I say, JP.
The only reason I'm here is so that when we get guests on, I can actually coach them on punditry and everything else.
By the way, Kenneth Miller's no one, mate, so it's all right. It's all right.
No, I'd be on double time trying to coach him, by the way, you kidding on?
That's coming from a guy that thinks it's narrow and we just want to treble, but we'll leave that for another podcast probably sometime down the line, mate.
Tom McManus hasn't on this podcast. No, he thinks it's unhealthy.
It's unhealthy. We're winning trebles, you know what I mean? But aye, like you say, JP, we're on all social media platforms. We're on TikTok. I do a TikTok page, some snazzy videos sometimes. There we
go. I'm not getting too much about it, but now we know he's a gentleman, so there we go.
That's fine. We're on TikTok, we're on Twitter, myself and JP, that's our Twitter handles there. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook page, Celtic Unrestricted View, we're on YouTube as well. Just about every social media platform you can get myself and JP. Again,
you've got another few apps as well, haven't you?
Again,
maybe we're not allowed to mention
about 45 minutes time, if you go on the Big OnlyFans, you'll get my wee double denim display that you might see next Friday. That's a $9.99. Unfortunately, this is a free podcast. JP,
put it up. It used to be £8.
I will. I need to, as you know, mate, I like to cook. So I need
to. Double denim, innit?
If I'm going to do my salt and pepper chicken, mate, I need to get it up. Know what I mean? So, aye. By the way, chicken's no dear. Chicken's no cheap.
No.
By the way, you go to Lidl, it's £2.50. Scotland's $3.50. So I'm in Scotland these days, mate. So it's $9.99. So William, I've not actually got the app, mate. It's just a laugh and a joke.
I've just got visions of you getting into shops in here, and much as it for a ham shank.
Oh, for sure. I'll be Danny
And she
coming out
turns,
with his
and
Garden
she turns,
State.
and she turns in and says, "Do you much as if you're not a ham shank?"
That's you and Danny getting Garden State out there, not there.
No, not at all.
Obviously, in terms of the social media platforms, me and JP's DMs, they're all open. If it's football, mental health, if it's what to talk about cooking, anything at all. But especially in men's mental health. I know there's females that watch us, and even if they're still mental health, we'll happily have a wee chat. But I know females don't really tend to talk to guys about that stuff. But the men's mental health, especially in football, I think it doesn't really get spoken about enough. Us as fans, we can agree players a bit of drip, but I think sometimes JP on here, we tend to know date as much because we know how behind the scenes what can happen. But if anybody is struggling with mental health, people have come on the podcast before who do listen. Again, obviously won't mention names, that's obviously confidentiality, but they have spoken about football, and it's been good to talk to guys
Yeah,
and get to know my personal level as well, because it is obviously for the fans. But so again, if anybody's from mental health, I know me and JP are the experts, but if it is a wee natter and again, because we are kind of strangers to some people, then if we can help anybody, if it is talking about still game or Celtic, anything at all, we'll happily help in that way as well.
yes, definitely. So please don't hesitate to reach out. And any, like Ryan says, we're on any sort of format at all on social media, Facebook, Twitter. That's our Twitter handles there. I've put up on the screen for you. Instagram, TikTok, or even the community section of this channel. You just go into our YouTube channel, click your wee icon, and go to the community section, and you can message us on there. And then we can also take it. We can also take it further from there if you want to have a more of a private chat, etc. About how you're feeling that day, or even if you want to chat with us about football or anything else, guys. But guys, again, total pleasure. Listen, there's too many comments to come through individually.
A lot of comments.
We can't thank you enough for all the continued support of the page. We really thank you again for joining us tonight, this Wednesday evening. Myself, I'll be back on Friday at 8:30. I'm back, Mr. Worldwide again. I'm back riding solo, so I'm Garen Timber, and
He'll help. Take care.
and I'll see you later. Bye bye.
Well, all right, lads. Guten Tag.